Time for change at West Ham. Yes, time for change at West Ham. Listen, West Ham take on Nottingham Forest at 3 o'clock today, and there is time for a change. But yes, funny enough, this actually isn't about David Moyes. I think there's a time and a place to talk about the manager and the change amongst the potential coaching system at West Ham, whether you're Moyes in, Moyes out, whatever you are. This is not the time and the place. This is the time that the fans got to get behind the club, which they do, and they are in an abundance. So don't you dare go accusing me of saying that you're not. But it's a time to focus on the game and the game ahead. And, you know, we're going to have the Predicted 11 show coming out very soon with Russ. So make sure you join that before we do the match day live. But I thought I'd bring to you, my kind of mindset for the game tomorrow. But changes have to come because what's been happening over the last few weeks haven't been working. Now, the concern I'll have is if we see the same starting 11, it wouldn't make sense because that same starting 11 has been beaten 6-0 at home by Arsenal, 3-0 away to Manchester United. 9 goals conceded in the last 2 games, and you can't have that repetitiveness functioning in a football team. And usually in most sports, you tend to find that if you are dramatically smashed to that level, then you see changes because there's problems. It's a bit like if someone's playing well, you keep playing them, but if they're not playing that well, then you change them. And the reason why I've led with the image of Konstantinos Mavropanos is, even though I have said many a times on the channel that my jury is out on him, maybe it's time that we put a bit of faith into him and see what it's like playing him in the team. Because without further ado, Captain Zuma has to be rested or dropped for this game. He's not been at the races. We're definitely concerned about that knee and about that issue and about what his leadership skills. Yes, we are questioning to a certain extent his leadership skills, but I think there's a time and a place when he needs to play right now. And right now, he's not got that in him. And we need a Konstantinos Mavropanos to come in and try and settle that back line, that defense. And maybe if that means people are saying the jury's out even on a Gerd, but for me, they need to be the starting 2 central defenders because we need that energy, that fight, and that strength and fitness levels, because they definitely have that over Zuma right now. There is no ifs or buts about it. And honestly, if I see Zuma on the team sheet, I will be concerned going into the game against Nottingham Forest. But that's not the only changes we should be looking at, because we've been playing for so long with 3 central defensive midfielders. We've got typically Tommy Soucek alongside James Ward-Prowse and, of course, the man, El Machine Alvarez, who David Moyes did say yesterday is actually okay on the back of picking up another illness, kicking about in the camp. So he should be okay to feature for the game later on today against Nottingham Forest. Now, absolutely no-brainer. El Machine goes in there, but the concern we've got now is, having this kind of low block defensive mindset with these players. That's like a kind of over-the-top defensive mindset. And there's questions whether or not you need to drop Tommy Soucek. There's some people saying even considering dropping James Ward-Prowse for this game. But I believe you don't need to drop 2 of them just yet. I think there needs to be one moved out of this team, and that would be Tommy Soucek, because right now the difference he's really making in a game are very few and far between. Nothing that's noticeable. And obviously, apart from the odd goal creeping into his game, then right now it feels like it's a little bit of a waste of a space for a starting position. Now, I'm not coming away from the fact that he's a very good player, a very good career so far at West Ham, and I'm not saying West Ham need to sell him. I think he will be a kind of continued valuable member of the squad. What a player to have amongst your substitutes bench, etc. And that does offer us something, doesn't it, having him in the squad to be able to come off the bench and cause problems like he can do, get into the box from a cross, put his head onto a couple of those balls, and do all the donkey work that many people don't credit him for as well. And on top of that, with Antonio back in the squad, I just wonder, he's been out for so long. He has been training on the grass with the team for a few weeks now. I wonder if David Moyes would be tempted to throw him in. But the one thing we do know, and the one thing we are hoping for, is change. And there needs to be some change in this game, because I can't see why we would go with the same, because the same currently hasn't worked. In actual fact, the same is breaking records for the wrong reasons, not for the right reasons. So it's time for change, Mr. Moyes. Fingers crossed we can get a result today. Join us as Worst gives you the predicted 11 for the Nottingham Forest versus West Ham game. And of course, join us later on for the Matchday Live, and we'll bring you all the reviews after the highlights review show. Take it easy, and of course, come on, you are.